Hey guys, so it's time to do a quick little speed test comparison and battery and camera test between the HTC 10 and LG's latest LG G5. These are obviously going to be on top of the shopping list for if you're looking for a high-end Android, but which one gives you the better performance? We can have a look here. So we're just going to start them both up at the same time, and then we can check out the speed of both of them. And I think the G5 is a little bit bigger than the HTC 10, 5.3 versus I think 5.2, but it doesn't really feel that bigger, which is good. Oh, so the G5 just beats the 10. Only just though. I mean, it was very similar there. So we can just have a look here. Everything is closed down and updated. So that is nice. And we're going to be checking out the battery as well, which I do charge to 100% on both of them, but for some reason it always goes down to 99% on the 10 very quickly. So we can see how good they are in terms of longevity. So we're just going to open up some apps here first. And yes, I am using an app drawer with the G5, but you can use it without if you want. I've not really noticed a difference in terms of the speed using it with or without. So I think the 10 is a little bit faster on some of these apps here. Starting up, 10 seems to be ahead. That was very similar, maybe the G5 on that one. Messaging, so I guess that was similar but different animations. Very confusing the way they have different animations. So that let's try that again. How do I? Let's try getting rid of this selfie mode. So let's just get rid of it and then go back into it. So go. So I think that was the G5, but only just. What about the Play Store? That was the 10 again. What about the game? So both of these obviously Snapdragon 820 devices, and it looks like the G5 is loading the game a little bit faster here, which is nice. But I can't decide really, you know. I think they have both done quite well here. I think the 10 was a little bit faster for the day-to-day kind of apps, but generally, you know, you could see the G5 was no slouch. But I'm probably going to support the 10, to be honest. It was just a little bit ahead on most of them. So, you know, that is quite interesting. Still on 100% with the G5 in terms of the battery. Versus 98% with the HTC. HTC's first Quad HD display, obviously, probably taking up quite a lot of juice. Let's check out the browsing here, see how they compare. Just going to open up some websites. And I think that was the G5 that particular time. Wait for them to load. Wow, some lag on here. Nice and smooth on the G5. Let's try a link. So G5 again. very nice. And let's try WWE. Go. So the G5 again here. And let's try a link. G5 to me. It seems to be ahead. One more. Let's try pocket now. Go. So props where props is due. You know, in terms of the performance, the G5 seems to be ahead here. I think it responded then. Let's go back. Go. Wow, this was slow. Hello. So I think the HTC is given up here, and I can't touch any link. Oh, that is unfortunate. Maybe it just doesn't like pocket now. Who knows? But I think the G5 was generally ahead of most of them, so I'm going to give that to the G5. Well done indeed. Let's have a look at the multitasking here. Just going to go back into everything that I went into, and I think that was the HTC for the first one. Similar for that one. Wow, that's weird. Weird music. So both of them are very similar here. Not massively different. Both have plentiful RAM, obviously. Maybe the HTC comes up with it a little bit faster on a few of them, but not that one. About the same for the camera. And Play Store, same. Wow, this is heading to be very similar. So straight in here on the HTC 10, we are reconnecting here, but I don't think it reloaded. So that is nice. One more. Chrome. So no difference whatsoever in terms of the performance there with the multitasking. I'm going to give that a draw, which is very good. You know, I was expecting the HTC to dominate the LG kind of overlay, but nevertheless, you know, it didn't here. So we will give it a round of applause. We can just have a look at some of the pictures here, which we did do. In good light as well as poor light as well, to see how they compare. And similar to the Galaxy S7, I felt that the G5 was taking the slightly higher quality images, coupled with the wide angle lens, which gave it, you know, much more exciting experience when you want to get everything in the shot like this one. But if you just zoom in here on the detail on both of them, if we go right to the close here, you can see the actual detail is a little bit brighter on the G5. Both of them are very high quality nevertheless. You know, I think the 10 is a massive step up from the M9, but personally, you know, I don't think it's really any better than the G5. Or much worse. You can have a look for yourself to, you know, determine what you think here. I think generally in the low light scenario, the G5 was a little bit stronger though, if I'm to be honest, because of that I think it has a very nice like camera setup for low light shooting. So like the S7, it does very well there, which the HTC, is doing good in itself. So overall, I've got to give props to HTC for closing the gap when it comes to the camera technology. Before last year they were way behind in terms of the quality compared to LG and Samsung, but now you can get a very competent experience on the HTC, and you're getting the benefits of the build quality and the software, etc. So overall, which one do you prefer here? As I might do a dedicated review of these two because they are big phones, obviously, for 2016. I have to say straight away, I definitely prefer the build quality of the 10. In terms of the real metal, it feels like $1 million in your hand, whereas the G5 doesn't give me that reassurance really. It feels nice and light nevertheless, and I think the displays here are about comparable. Really, I think we're getting the same kind of LCD Quad HD display, so very nice and bright. Well, I think the G5s could be a little bit brighter actually. I think the 10 is a little bit brighter in like daylight. Now, if we have a look at the battery life, you can see a massive difference here in terms of the battery. 100% on the G5 still versus the 96% on the HTC 10, which is very interesting because they both have similar specs, but this has a bigger battery. This has a bigger display to power. Maybe LG's pushed out some updates that have helped with the battery life. I have noticed some updates come down with the G5, so that is quite interesting. Maybe we'll see some updates on the HTC as well. But yeah, just a quick little comparison here between these two. If you've got any questions, do let me know. Hope you enjoyed the video, and I'll see you in the next one. Cheers.